Good afternoon and welcome to TVM News. Today is Friday, November 3rd. I'm Brooke Williams.
And I'm Hannah Weaver. This week, we'll bring you all the latest updates on the terrorist attack in Lower Manhattan that left 8 dead, and a recap of the Houston Astros World Series win. Marywood's annual security report shows mixed changes from last year's figures on law-breaking on and around campus. Campus safety says drug and liquor law violations are down compared to last year, while sex offenses, dating violence, and domestic violence are slightly up. The report categorizes the violation as occurring either on campus, in residence halls, on public property, or off campus. Marywood releases this information under the Clery Act A 1990 federal law requiring colleges to disclose crime statistics. Marywood's website has the full report.
Marywood's Counseling and Student Development Center is seeing more changes this semester. The CSDC recently rehired 2 of the 4 part-time employees it had terminated last spring and also added a new full-time counselor position. The center had terminated the part-time employees because their hours had exceeded the budget. The full-time position should eliminate the need for part-time work. According to CSDC Director Dr. Robert Shaw, the budget for this year is comparable to last year, and services at the facility remain unchanged.
Marywood is filling director positions that have been vacant since this summer. The university hired new directors for marketing and communication, information, and alumni engagement. Marywood hired an outside company that specializes in finding job candidates to fill the positions in marketing and communication and IT. Search committees of faculty, staff, alumni, and students, as well as the Marywood community, participated in the search and met with the final candidates during open forums. Marywood President, Sister Mary Persico, said the 3 previous Marywood employees resigned over the summer for, quote, personal reasons.
Prospective students are visiting Marywood's campus as college application deadlines are approaching. TVM's Brianna Ryan was at Marywood's first admissions event of the semester.
First open house of the year last week for prospective students. Families and students registered for the open house in the Nazareth Student Center and met with their admissions counselors and on-campus clubs and organizations. Representatives from the Student Government Association, the dance team, the ROTC program, and financial aid spoke with attendees. Senior Director of University Admissions, Christian DiGregorio, addressed students and parents in the Latour Room and provided an overview of Marywood. After the presentation, admissions counselors split students into groups based on their intended major and took them to their respective academic departments. The day concluded with lunch in the main dining hall and campus tours. For TVM News, I'm Brianna Ryan.
Of Military and Veteran Services is hosting the annual Veterans Day program on Friday, November 10th, outside the Veterans Resource Center. The office is looking to send thank you messages to veterans that will be presented during the Veterans Day program. Those interested in sending messages should contact Michael Magistro at the Office of Military and Veteran Services.
The Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival is recognizing the accomplishments of Marywood students for their work on this season's production of A Streetcar Named Desire. The College Theater Festival honored students for excellence in stage management and lighting design. Marywood theater majors will be participating in the Irene Ryan Scholarship Award auditions at the Regional Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival this January. Other theater students will compete at the festival to be recognized in sound design and in the student drama category.
The Kresge Gallery opened an exhibit of art of student works on Monday. Brooke was there for the opening reception.
Marywood's International Art Honor Society held the opening of its annual exhibit in the Kresge Gallery on Monday night. Chapter members presented their artwork, which will be on display in the gallery until November 11th. The Zeta Omicron chapter of Kappa Pi curates and installs the exhibit each year to showcase pieces submitted by chapter members and celebrate their accomplishments. Ashley Caldero, the chapter's president, explained the purpose of the exhibit.
This is our annual Zeta Omicron show, so each member got to put in 1 piece or 1 to 2 pieces, and we do this every year. We're all different art majors, so we want to showcase all of the talents that we have.
For TVM News, I'm Brooke Williams. A new hip-hop course is making history at Marywood. The Department of Music, Theater, and Dance is offering hip-hop history as a course for the upcoming semester. Professor Michael Parker will teach the 3-credit course. The class will be offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
We have more up next. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in to TVM-News. Financial instability and mismanagement within the Scranton School District has led to a $25 million deficit over 4 years, says an audit released by the State Auditor General, Eugene De Pasquale. The audit looked at the district's finances from 2012 to 2016 and found several cases of general mismanagement. The district overspent by using DeNaples Transportation for school buses and paid the company a 7% yearly increase for over a decade instead of pursuing competitive bids. The district also paid for health care for a mechanic and his wife who were not district employees. De Pasquale called it, quote, the worst debt situation in any school district in the state. He said in order to avoid a state takeover, the Scranton School District's administration, board members, and staff need to focus on doing what is right for students and taxpayers. 3 candidates are running for seats on the school board in addition to the 2 current board members running for re-election. The new board will vote on a 2018 budget this January. District officials said future layoffs are possible, but would not comment on school tax increases in Scranton.
The United States Postal Service is holding a public meeting next month to discuss the possibility of moving one of its Scranton post offices. The office, now in the William Nealon Federal Building on Washington Avenue, may move to a smaller location since the current space is too large for its needs. The Washington Avenue Post Office will not close until a new one opens, and the post office within the marketplace at Steamtown will remain open. Post office officials will discuss their plans at a meeting in Scranton City Hall on November 9th. The presentation will include information on how residents can comment on the plan during a 30-day period that begins with the meeting.
The Dutch Hollow Neighborhood Association marked its 20th year of hosting Trunk or Treat Halloween celebration for the children of Scranton. Children in costumes came out for free pizza, trunks of candy, and chances to win prizes last Saturday. The association's president, Bob Sheridan, said Trunk or Treat is a good way to ensure that children have a safe Halloween.
A 55-year-old woman was seriously injured last weekend by a falling tree at Ricketts Glen State Park. Rangers said high winds probably caused the dead tree to fall on her while she was walking on the Highland Falls Trail. She lost consciousness and was flown to Geisinger Medical Center in Danville. There are no further details on the unidentified woman's injuries.
Police think the death of an elderly couple in Fell Township could have been a murder-suicide. A caregiver discovered 87-year-old Gerald Reynolds and his wife, 82-year-old Mary Reynolds, dead in their home last week. Both suffered from bullet wounds. The Carbondale police chief said both previously suffered from debilitating medical issues and that it appears Gerald Reynolds shot his wife. Police found the firearm used in the shooting when they searched the home and will continue investigating while the Lackawanna County coroner performs autopsies on the couple.
A school van driver from Susquehanna County is being charged with sexual assault of a minor. Donald Brand is accused of having sexual contact with the female student at Faith Mountain Christian Academy. The student rode in the van to school each day, and the two started emailing each other. Court papers say Brand kissed and touched the girl. Brand admitted to kissing the student and was charged with sexual assault of a minor. Bail was set at $10,000.
State police and the district attorney's office are investigating a house fire in Laughlin. The fire killed 2 boys, aged 12 and 16, and injured another 8-year-old boy who was in critical condition after being rescued. Firefighters responded to the call after 7 p.m. and found the first victim within 3 minutes. They extinguished the fire within 25 minutes. Officials said there is a person of interest in the case, but no charges have been filed yet. The Luzerne County Coroner's Office will perform autopsies on the 2 boys, but no date has been set.
Scranton resident Anthony Brown is being accused of 2 robberies on the same night. Brown allegedly robbed the Red Carpet Inn on Franklin Avenue in downtown Scranton and the Price Chopper in Taylor. In the Price Chopper robbery, a witness said Brown demanded money as he pointed a pellet gun at the head of a cashier. The witness was on the phone with a friend who was able to contact police. Brown escaped in a car but was found a mile from the grocery store.
We'll be right back with an update on how Puerto Rico is recovering after Hurricane Maria, but first, here is your 7-day forecast.
Welcome back to TVM News. Lower Manhattan is recovering after a man drove a truck into a bike lane and killed 8 in what is being described as an act of terrorism. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio spoke of the incident.
This was an act of terror, and a particularly cowardly act of terror aimed at innocent civilians.
It was just after 3 p.m. Tuesday when Sayfullo Saipov, a 29-year-old Uzbek national, drove a rented truck into a crowd of bicyclists and pedestrians near the World Trade Center.
It happened out of nowhere. I was walking down the street, it was a normal day, and just out of nowhere I see people running and screaming.
Witnesses also report the suspect shouted Allahu Akbar, and a law enforcement official says there was a note in the truck claiming the attack was done in the name of ISIS.
He was associated with ISIS, and he was radicalized domestically, and he's a depraved coward.
Saipov was shot and captured by NYPD officer Ryan Nash.
After the collision, the driver of the truck, a 29-year-old male, exited the vehicle brandishing 2 handguns. A uniformed police officer assigned to the 1st Precinct confronted the subject and shot him in the abdomen. The subject was wounded and transported to a local hospital.
The focus now, the investigation into what happened and why.
That work's going to be done by the FBI, by the NYPD, and all of our partners to determine exactly who this man is, what moved him to this horrible act.
In Lower Manhattan, I'm Kristen Holmes.
An appeals court is allowing a 17-year-old undocumented immigrant in Texas to terminate her pregnancy. The teenager, referred to as Jane Doe, came to the U.S. without her parents and has been staying at a federal shelter for unaccompanied minors. Doe was 16 weeks pregnant and running out of time to end her pregnancy because abortions are banned in Texas at 20 weeks. The Trump administration attempted to block the teenager from leaving the shelter to receive an abortion through court filings, but an appeals court ruled in her favor and let her get the procedure. The ACLU said the teenager did not request government assistance for the abortion. Private funds covered the cost instead.
Puerto Rican residents living near San Juan are finally finding safe drinking water more than 1 month after Hurricane Maria. A university lab conducting tests for CNN reported water from 3 wells at a hazardous waste site was actually safe for human consumption. Virginia Tech professor Mark Edwards, who conducted the tests, said he himself would drink the water. CNN had previously reported that residents desperate for fresh water had been drinking from the wells at the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, considered contaminated by chemicals that potentially increase the risk of cancer.
The FBI is authorizing the release of files related to the 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy. President Trump delayed the release of some files, but authorized the release of others. He tweeted, "JFK files are being carefully released. In the end, there will be great transparency. It is my hope to get just about everything to the public." The files contain some redactions to ensure the safety of some people still living who revealed information during the investigation of the assassination. The files released so far reveal that the CIA intercepted a call Kennedy's assassin Lee Harvey Oswald made to a KGB officer 2 months before he shot Kennedy. The documents also revealed new information regarding threats against Oswald made to the FBI after his arrest. According to Politico, the FBI said Monday all materials previously withheld will be released.
The FBI has shared more details about Adam Lanza, the man who killed 20 children and 6 adults at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut in 2012. Though he apparently never acted on it, an FBI behavioral analysis reveals Lanza may have had a pedophilic interest in children. One document found on his computer supported, quote, pedophiles' rights and the liberation of children. A woman who had an online friendship with Lanza said that he believed sexual relationships between adults and children could be beneficial to both. The FBI documents also show Lanza meticulously planned and prepared for the Sandy Hook shooting, possibly since March of 2011.
A Virginia man may get up to 35 years in prison for joining the Islamic State group in Syria. Mohammed Jamal Kouiz is a former public transit driver who became the only U.S. citizen convicted of terrorism charges after joining ISIS overseas. Kouiz traveled to ISIS territory in Iraq and Syria in December of 2015, where he obtained an official membership card. Unhappy with living in the Islamic State, he attempted to flee to the U.S. and was captured by Kurdish forces in Iraq. Prosecutors said Kouiz volunteered to be a suicide bomber, but his defense attorneys are seeking a 5-year sentence, saying he did not intend to harm the U.S. Kouiz's attorneys also said a harsh sentence will deter other Americans who joined ISIS from quitting.
The National Park Service is proposing an increase for some park entrance fees. The plan calls for non-commercial vehicles to pay a $70 park entrance fee, more than double the current $30 fee. Entrance fees for motorcyclists, pedestrians, and commercial tour operators would also increase, but annual park passes would not change. The proposed increase would affect 17 top revenue national parks during their peak seasons in 2018. The National Park Service says the additional funds would be used for maintenance of roads, campgrounds, and bathrooms.
A mysterious object is speeding through our solar system. NASA is not sure what the unusual object is, but believes it may have come from outside of our solar system. If it is an interstellar object, it will be the first one to pass through our solar system while being observed by astronomers. The object has tentatively been named A2017 UI and is thought to be less than a quarter mile in diameter. It is moving at about 16 miles per second.
The new iPhone X is available starting today. The new Apple product, which consumers have been pre-ordering, has a 5.8-inch Super Retina screen. One of the new iPhone's main features is Face ID recognition, which creates an in-depth map of the face that can be used to unlock the device and make purchases through Apple Pay. This feature uses the new True Depth camera, which is supposed to create sharper photos and better selfies through the portrait lighting setting. The iPhone X costs $999, so consumers will have to see if the device is worth the price.
A new wristband called Sunu is helping the visually impaired navigate more easily on their own. The device uses echolocation to bounce sound waves off objects as far as 14 feet away. That creates pulsing vibrations that increase when objects get closer. The wearer can then create a mental map of the surroundings. The range and sensitivity can be altered using an app. Sunu's backers say it is the beginning of technology that will allow the visually impaired to roam more freely.
Up next, we'll check in with TVM sports anchor John Ferraro for the latest happening in sports. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to TVM News. Let's go to John Ferraro for the latest in sports. John?
Thanks, Brooke. Marywood Pacers fans are still buzzing after both cross-country teams captured Colonial State's Athletic Conference titles last weekend. The women's team won its 13th title overall, while the men secured their first ever CSAC championship. On the women's side, 5 runners finished in the top 10, including 2 in the top 3. Senior Kelby Cole was the conference individual runner-up for the second straight season. Freshman David Haynes became the 3rd Marywood men's cross-country runner to win an individual championship. 3 other runners finished in the top 5. Both teams will compete in the NCAA Division III Mid-East Regional on November 11th. Men's soccer lost a heartbreaker to Marywood-University in the first round of the CSAC playoffs. Down 1-0 late in the second period, Pacers freshman midfielder Tom Kufare tied the game straight off a corner kick. With just moments remaining in regulation, Newman player Daniel Rival found the back of the net for the game-winning goal. Newman will travel to Cabrini-University for a CSAC semifinal showdown, while Marywood's 2017 campaign comes to an end. The volleyball team is still feeling the effects of how its season ended this week. Marywood hosted Notre Dame of Maryland University in a first-round CSAC match. The Pacers jumped out to a 2-0 lead, but would lose 3 straight sets to the Gators in dramatic fashion. The Gators rallied with an 11-2 run in the third set, took the final 2 points of the fourth set, and controlled the fifth set late to secure the victory. Notre Dame eliminates the Pacers from playoff contention and will challenge Cabrini-University in the next round. The women's soccer team advances to the CSAC title game after defeating Gwynedd Mercy University on Wednesday. Junior midfielder Julie Youngman scored 2 of the Pacers' 4 goals in the winning effort. Marywood controlled the game by outshooting the Griffins 30-9 and 15-7 on goal. Marywood will host Cabrini-University tomorrow as the Pacers look to repeat as conference champions. Cabrini is the only CSAC team to beat Marywood this season. The winner of tomorrow's game not only wins the conference, but also gets an automatic bid to the NCAA Division III tournament. The New York Southern District Court denied Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott's preliminary injunction on Tuesday. This means Elliott's 6-game suspension is officially reinstated. The NFLPA requested yesterday that the United States Court of Appeals of the Second Circuit entered a brief administrative stay on Ezekiel Elliott's behalf so he can play in Sunday's game against the Kansas City Chiefs. According to CBS Sports, the NFLPA winning the actual appeal is unlikely because the second court is the same court to rule on the Deflategate case against NFL quarterback Tom Brady. Elliott has been granted a temporary administrative stay in his appeal, meaning he is eligible to play on Sunday. The Houston Astros captured their first World Series championship ever in a dramatic 7-game series over the Los Angeles Dodgers. With the series tied 3-3, the Game 7 decided the winner. Houston struck first with 3 runs in the first inning. A 2-run home run in the second inning by Houston's George Springer put the Stros in commanding position of 5-0. The Dodgers had plenty of opportunities throughout the game, but failed to capitalize. Springer won Series MVP. The Astros are celebrating with today's victory parade in Houston. That's all for sports this week. Back to the desk.
A Williamsport woman celebrated her 94th birthday last week by checking a big activity off her bucket list, going skydiving. Isla Campbell was looking for a thrill, so she went to Above the Poconos skydiving with her granddaughter and jumped out of a plane 10,000 feet in the air. After the jump, Campbell said she would do it again. The owner of Above the Poconos said Campbell is the oldest person he has ever seen go skydiving.
She sounds more adventurous than younger people that I know.
I give her a lot of credit. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. That's going to do it this week for our edition of TVM News. From all of us at TV-Marywood, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow TV-Marywood's YouTube page and like the TVM Facebook page to stay up to date on the latest happenings and to watch additional content. For TVM News, I'm Hannah Weaver.
And I'm Brooke Williams. We'll see you next week.